Hi, my name is Ben McCooch. I'm at CANSEC, Canada's premier defense trade show, and I'm going to shoot this C7 at this simulator.
The Canadian defense business is booming. Canada might be known for UN peacekeeping missions and for declining America's invitation to the Iraq War Party, but every year it plays host to one of the biggest defense trade shows in North America. Welcome to CANSEC. With the support of the Harper government, sales of Canadian defense merchandise are rising. Canadian military exports increased from 2010 to 2011 and have likely jumped since. And Canada was recently awarded the biggest defense deal in its history, a $10 billion contract to General Dynamics Canada to build light armored vehicles for the Saudi Arabian army. So we went to CANSEC to meet the Canadians and international defense and security contractors hawking their wares to soldiers, generals, and defense officials from Peru to Israel.
As the department with the largest federal budget, National Defense has been working to find efficiencies and generate savings that will be reinvested into our military capabilities and readiness.
Soon enough, we're rubbing shoulders with foreign military officials from over 30 countries on hand. There's a lot of backslapping and chicken Kiev, but just a few feet away, I'm able to strap on an anti-tank rocket launcher.
So is this for sale?
Of course.
How much?
Quite a lot. Depends how many you buy.
We saw everything from semi-automatic rifles to similar light armored vehicles General Dynamics is selling to the Saudis. There's also Halo helmets, smart rifles, and virtual gun ranges with action simulators.
It's far more intuitive when you actually put it on your head. So now you have a one-hand system, and then if you want to make sure you're protected with frag and shrapnel, right?
It's a completely self-run unit. You can attach it to any weapon system, any existing weapon system that you have. It has a high-powered laser, a laser rangefinder here, and then a targeting computer inside. It has GPS, and it can track all the movement of the actual rifle. Once you have a target here, then you can actually hand off that target to another soldier or another unit using a network, either the network which is built into the device, or actually a network using a radio. This technology is a little bit like a computer game. Only difference is you're interacting without really knowing that it's happening. So it is a little bit scary, kind of like, Ghost Recon or something like that.
But enough talk. It's time for me to try out some of the gear.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Okay, so right now we have a door gunning mission.
Okay.
And we're just gonna, basically you're gonna fly around a designated area.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be, like Scott said, littered with targets.
Littered with targets. So if I suck shit, it's not going to be a big deal, right?
No.
Well, I don't know, there's girls watching, so
Yeah.
we'll see. See what I'm saying? Short burst, then you're on the target, you just leave them.
Now, while I'm a guy who shot a gun before, the new weaponry I tested seemed incredibly intuitive and user-friendly, tailored to the smartphone generation. The other hot ticket item? Drones. Some, like this small octocopter, were armed.
There's a flood of new entrants into the marketplace. That comes as public awareness is increasing and different industries are starting to become more aware of the benefits. We've been doing this since before there was a market. A lot of the systems that you're seeing are taking different approaches to solving the same problems, but those are a lot of first-generation platforms. So our system is all about data collection. So we focus on either cameras or other types of sensors like radiation detectors or oxygen, air sampling sensors, those types of things. No plans to weaponize at all.
One company that did have a weaponized UAV of sorts is Meggitt. They've strapped a gun to their working prototype quadcopter, used for training purposes.
With the proliferation of micro unmanned vehicles, it doesn't take a stretch to understand that someone malevolent may wish to use them as a threat in the future. Micro UAVs are proliferating on the battlefield, and not just in symmetric warfare, but asymmetric warfare. And I think you're going to see this absolutely. This did not take long to put together. These are all commercial off-the-shelf parts that can be procured by anyone. So it's worrisome when you think about what could potentially be used.
So what do soldiers think?
Toys, toys, and more toys.
Basically, what I'm getting out of this type of a setup is where are we going in the future? Because a lot of the stuff that's at the stands, it's not quite ready to be fielded yet, but it's a proof of concept of here's where the future can lie.
They've got a point. Everything at CANSEC feels like a toy. But at the end of the day, all these products revolve around real war and security situations. Which brings us back to the Harper government's support in enhancing defense sales. We asked Tim Page, the head of the entire event, about that political backing.
Before 2008, the government of the day had chosen to underinvest in renewing the equipment needs of the Canadian Armed Forces, and with the arrival of the Conservative government, they've made a concerted effort to reinvest, to rebuild capability.
The Harper government has been encouraging of military exports, but it's wrong to say that the government ignores strict export controls. Even still, how do you make sure all the products we see stay in the right hands?
This is like not really that Canadian though.
One of the strangest sideshows at CANSEC is the crop of plane companies vying for the multi-billion-dollar fighter program, replacing Canada's fleet of CF-18 fighters. There's the Rafale fighter and the Eurofighter Typhoon. Lockheed Martin's Slick F-35 station is fit with a test pilot and simulator. This is what trying to convince Canada to buy your fighter plane looks like.
So what you have is a side stick controller. Think of a joystick in a PC to fly with, and a throttle in your left hand. Just as we talk about flying in this video game, it's a remarkably easy aircraft to fly. And we're going to go to attack 2 targets up here. With your left thumb, you are moving this cursor over here. It says shoot, so I want you with your right thumb, press this red button and watch the display here. So press the right button and release. Throws the missile out, opens the weapons bay doors, throws the missile outside, the missile goes away, the weapons bay doors close, and you're back being a stealthy airplane. And in 6 seconds, it's going to go autonomous and track on its own towards the target, and you can go do something else. You can go home and have lunch. We don't fly dogfights anymore. And we don't dogfight anymore because you'll never see me, and I will kill everything in sight every single time. That's what F-22 and 10 years of its employment has taught us.
But other fighter companies weren't so convinced.
So the F-35 is a brand new aircraft, maybe future, which is not designed fully already, with legacy weapons. And for me, this is the big problem of the F-35. For the Rafale, we are going with a program which involves all the industry of France. We make new weapons, we make new pods, we make new reconnaissance pods, we have laser designation pods on it, and the aircraft itself is brand new. And it's supposed to be the sole aircraft of French Air Force for the future.
It's strange to watch grown men fight over a plane contract worth billions, like they're teenagers. Only time will tell which one of them wins, but if CANSEC taught us anything, it's that in the military arms biz, someone always wins.